I know I'm a stranger. I just messaged you on Facebook. I get it. You're probably getting blown up, but would it be cool if we met in person, had a conversation? You're not obligated to a thing, but at least we can go through every possible outcome and you can ask all the questions you want and we can do the best we can to get something done before 10:40 on Monday morning.
Um, Several months behind and unemployed currently,
Yeah.
so I'm not in a very good spot to try to do much in the way of negotiating with my mortgage company.
Yeah. Okay. So what have you tried so far? I what I can do is go over all the options you have and kind of see
Okay.
which one fits best for you. But I'd kind of like to hear, what you've tried, what's worked, what hasn't. That way, I at least have a kind of a better picture of the whole situation.
I talked to him a few months back about doing a modification,
Mm-hmm.
but did not get that paperwork submitted in a timely manner, and
Okay.
so and that's really been it.
Okay.
I wasn't in a position to try to fulfill the modification at the time.
Yeah, I completely understand. Well, let me just go through these five options for you, and we'll see if there's one that stands out. Because before we even go into those, what's kind of your ideal, realistic outcome, knowing that the sale's Monday at 10:40? What would you like to see happen as an ideal outcome with the amount of time we have?
Oh man, I'd love to be able to keep my home.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's an option. I recently went through a divorce.
Oh,
I'm dealing with custody issues, so
oh, okay. Goodness.
I've got a lot on my plate, and I'm I'm grasping at this point.
Yeah.
I
When
don't really
when
know, man.
when did you get divorced? Because this will be a key factor in what happens here in the next few days. Was your ex-wife on the note with you?
She was not.
She was not. Okay.
No,
Um,
divorce was completed in
okay.
April
Did,
15th.
were you awarded the house in the divorce decree?
Yeah, like basically she's leaving. Yeah, she left.
Okay.
Yeah, my property alone.
Okay. I just want to make sure that, because sometimes even if she's not on the note, if you were married during the time that you lived there or owned that property, she would have to sign off. So I don't know if you've discussed that with an attorney, or if you have like, I know you guys are divorced, but are you at least still amicable to conversation or?
Uh, Hit or miss.
Yeah, fair
Yeah,
enough. Fair
yeah.
enough. Okay. Well, I'm going to go through your options here, and we'll just kind of walk through each one and see which one tickles your fancy, I guess.
Okay.
Okay. So number one is by far the best option. My guess is you would have already done it already, but it's just a reinstatement. A reinstatement meaning you're bringing the home current with what you're behind. So, have you had a recent quote from your lender on about how much you're behind?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't have anything
Yeah.
current now.
Do you know, give or take, how many months it's been since you've made a payment?
About 7 or 8.
7 or 8 months. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's your typical monthly payment?
Oh, around 900.
Around 900. Okay. So let's say you're 8 months behind. You said 900 a month. So with fees and everything, if you kind of factor that in, let's see, we got 8 times 900. That comes out to be about 7,200. So with fees and things, more than likely you're about 10 behind. Does that sound reasonable?
Sounds reasonable, yeah.
Sounds reasonable. Okay. And is that type of money that you could come up with in the next few days, whether it be a old 401k or some type of retirement or maybe family or friends that could lend that to you? I mean, I don't know if you've kind of gone through that process yet.
No, I don't really have anybody to reach out to for something like that, and I don't have a 401k.
Okay. Well, keep that in mind over the weekend, as because I would prefer you to keep the home. I know you've probably heard from about 700 different people, but I actually went through this process back in 2014. I was a teacher, didn't have the money to make ends meet, and I would have liked to have someone that would have walked me through these options. But I want you to be able to keep the home, but I want to be a backup plan as well. So that's number one. So if you happen to think of a family or a friend or maybe someone at church or just whoever that could lend that to you, that would be ideal.
Okay.
Now, the second option we've kind of already touched on was that loan modification. If you had 3, 4, 6 weeks, I would definitely encourage you to go down that path of filling out the paperwork and trying to wrap up that $10K that you're behind into your mortgage, and hopefully they would work with you. But in terms of doing that before Monday, that's not real likely. Next option is going to be a cash sale, which I'm sure you've had plenty of people mention that to you. I don't know if you have kind of an idea of what you owe on it. I'm not asking because that's my offer. I'm asking because I want to see just kind of the situation we're dealing with, and what you could.
I mean, I've got a ballpark.
Okay. So I'd seen some numbers, maybe a short 190, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if that was interesting to you, potentially we could get you the highest cash offer we physically could, get as much money in your pocket as possible, and then potentially have a situation where we have post-possession period, maybe give you 2 or 3 months in the home, and you'd have that cash in hand, and we could assist you in finding the next home. Okay, but that's just an option. The last option may be of interest to you. It's called Subject to. Subject to is just a fancy way of saying that I could bring your loan current. I would bring that $10K that you're behind, reinstate the loan. I would take ownership of the house, and then if it was something that was mutually beneficial, we could keep you there as a long-term tenant, or at least keep that loan in place so the payment was low. So we would have different options and buy some time on figuring out what that next step would be. In that situation, we have a couple of different options. You can either stay there and rent long-term, and perhaps we could come up with some terms to where you could buy the house back a few years down the line when your credit's back where it needs to be, and you get a job again. Or perhaps, let's say 6 months, 18 months down the road, you say, look, I really don't want to do this anymore. Can we do some type of partnership on this deal where I would put some money into the house, get it to where it was market ready, we'd put it on the market, sell it full retail, and then we would partner on those proceeds. So the good thing about that last option is there's a lot of flexibility on what could be done, and it allows you to stay in the home for a longer time because we keep that very reasonable rate, very reasonable monthly payment intact, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah. So
look, I've got a lot of variables,
yeah.
that I'm working with here.
What's going on in your head? That way I can, kind of try to understand those, and, at worst I can give you some advice and some resources on what you could do.
Yeah, well, I mean, as far as employment goes, on top of my home and marital and everything else that's going on, I've got transportation issues.
Yes.
So, that's been a huge factor in.
So you don't have a vehicle right now?
I've got one that has been sitting for a few years because I had a newer vehicle that I've just let go back, and this one's sitting on expired tags and needs a little bit of mechanical help to get me mobile again.
Yeah, so we've done things like that in the past to where, hey, we could buy the house cash, or we could take it over subject to, and we could get some money in your pocket to where we could help you get those things fixed while keeping you in the home. Or if you had other things that were going on, like other people, I'm not saying this is you, but Other people, maybe their utilities are behind, or they need some months of food money, whatever the case may be. I'm in your court. I want you to win on this thing. So
I kind of fall into both of those categories. I mean,
yeah,
I'm behind on utilities and
So these are the problems that I want to help you solve. It's not one of those things where I want it to be, oh, I'm just going to give you some cash for the house and then you're on your own. I have a team that's built around this. We've done probably 600 foreclosure deals, and we have a resource or a tool or a team member that can help you with pretty much anything that you need. So I want this to be seen as more of a partnership. Whether I make any money or not, I don't care. I really just want to help you in this situation get back to where you're on steady ground.
And that is the kind of stuff I need to hear.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. So would you be? I know I'm a stranger. I just messaged you on Facebook. I get it. You're probably getting blown up, but would it be cool if we met in person, had a conversation? You're not obligated to a thing, but at least we can go through every possible outcome, and you can ask all the questions you want, and we can do the best we can to get something done before 10:40 on Monday morning.
I wouldn't be opposed. What kind of scheduling are you thinking? Or
I'm out in Independence is where I'm based out of. You're up north, right?
Yeah, I'm real near World's Fun.
Yeah. So I could get, let's see, what time is it? It is 1:27. Could you meet at like 3 o'clock? Is that too soon? I don't know what you got going on today.
Yeah, just kind of juggling stuff with the ex and
I got you.
And house stuff. But
I got you. What are things looking like for you?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just trying. What I'm trying to do is if we decided to work together, get something going before the lenders close 5, 6 o'clock. That way we have a couple hours more opportunity to get something done. Whereas on Monday, we only have, 1.5 business hours, basically, to get something done. Those extra hours are going to be important.
Okay.
Because
3 o'clock would probably work.
Are you home?
I am.
Okay. Well,
I do have dogs and stuff. I prefer to.
That's okay. Yeah, you definitely want to have time to do that, but it helps us to see the house, not as we just want to see the whole picture. That way we can paint what is realistic, what we can help with, and we've seen every situation out there, so there's not going to be anything that surprises us at all. So you don't have to be embarrassed about the condition of the home or anything like that. We've seen it all. Okay.
Yeah, it is a little embarrassing.
Yeah, no, dude, I understand. I've been in this exact scenario back in 2014. I kid you not. We fortunately we had a buddy that lent me a little bit of money to get back even with my lender. Mm-hmm. But I've been there. I understand what that feels like as a man. I get it, and that's partially why I'm in this business now, because I want to be able to give every single person a fighting chance or a resource or something to get out of this situation, because it sucks. It does. And I just want the people that actually care about the client to work with us. That way we can come up with an ideal outcome, whether that be working with us or just getting the foreclosure sale stopped or something. Just gets you back on the right foot.
Yeah. And the only way to really get it stopped is, it's either come up with the money or work with you. It sounds like.
At this point in the game, that's kind of it. I wish we had talked about a week or 10 days ago, but we're kind of down to it now. So the worst that can happen now is we have a conversation. I give you some resources. If you decide you're not a good fit for us, that's okay. I've given you every resource I can. And hopefully that's a value add to you. But best case, we get this thing stopped, because I've stopped, hundreds of foreclosure sales the day of or the day before the foreclosure sale. So we definitely have a team that can help you out with that.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I'll plan on seeing you about 3 o'clock then.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you reaching out, and we'll see you here in about an hour and a half or so.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. This deal came from a Facebook message. I sent this Facebook message 3 days ago. My guys have knocked, they've called, they've left sticky notes, we've sent direct mail. He finally reached out from that Facebook message. I was able to set up a call with him, immediately build up some rapport and some trust with him, have an appointment here. Hopefully we can get this foreclosure sale stopped. At the time of this recording, it is a Friday afternoon, August 16th at 1:30. This foreclosure sale is in 3 days. So hopefully we can get this thing stopped and get this gentleman taken care of. Thanks for watching. If this was valuable, like, comment, subscribe. Comment your biggest takeaway down in the comments. Look forward to seeing you on the next one. Peace.